And welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. And today is a very fun day. We're going to do something cool. We have construction going on outside, so if it's a bit noisy, that's why. Um, I have liquid. Knowing that trying to date streams. Also, kind of frazzled. Today's been a day. Funny day. Okay, well, silver linings full. Day full of silver linings. So, um, what are we doing? Oh, yes. So, we're going to do fun thing. What is fun thing, you might ask? I have no idea. That's the fun part. Is suppose we can go back to fudge. This module is possible. Then we got that module. Then we've got what else? Um, what are we doing? My I had a plan and a something. Do I know what my plan is? No. Um, so funny start. Hi, my name is Lee. Not a woman. I'm pretty feminine today, but not a woman. And I am. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna adjust the Discord live on stream. That is what we're gonna do. Now, you might be thinking, what Discord? Well, I'm glad you asked. You didn't ask, but that's okay. I'll tell you anyway. It is our stream Discord. I have a fun little stream Discord. And I realized that I screwed that up. So, what we're going to do is. Okay, let's see if we can't figure out how to do this. Now, because it's my server, I should be able to. That's user settings. That's not what we want. Um, Create category. Um, yes. All right. So there we go. So I can just this one. That one stays. That one goes. Come on. Yay. Okay. Um, that one. Yes, these are left over from stream. Um, uh, Miscellaneous writing snippets. Yes. Okay. So, um, okay. So, for everyone who knows, um, let's see. Should I change it from tabletop RPGs to writing and reading? That is a good question. I'm not going to just yet. Uh, oh, fun stuff. I need to edit this. So, yes, I have to change the Michigi website. Boom. So, for those of you who don't know, my stream is sort of a variety stream. I'm Lee. And what I'm doing right now is modifying our stream Discord. So, I have a stream Discord, as many of you might know. Hopefully some of you are on it, if we have anyone come at all. Basically, any random discussions we get into in the chat on stream that I think would benefit from continuing, I put a channel for in that. We haven't had one in a while, but could have some fun with that. And I have a bunch of writing prompts that I gave people, and then each of them ended up getting its own channel. So, I am it's gonna do an ad break, and I think we have pre-roll on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stretch. You should all stretch as well. Hydrate too. I'll get a little more liquid. Everyone stretch and hydrate. Then we're gonna come back, and I think I'm just gonna do some for the words. I'm gonna do some writing. You should do some writing. Hang with me. Talk. Hang out. It'll be fun. Yee. Let's do it. All right. So, we're doing planet creation. So I'm going to go like this. We're going to do planet creation. I'm going to get Expectus Primus going. We're going to do planet creation. Come on. There we go. Yeah, we're going to do planet creation. What kind of planet creation? Oh, right. So I will explain about what planet creation means and what we're going to do with it and how much fun it's going to be in a bit when the ad ends. Okay? Meantime, I'm going to have some liquids, do some stretching. You should do liquids and stretching too. If you have meds you need to take, you should take them. I might have forgotten. Okay. Yes. Oh, I think. Oh. All right. Oof. Welcome back, everybody. Perfect timing. I am a little bit acetaminophen because I got it. Almost had it come on. I was gonna say if you have any meds, you should take them. I know I forget to take my meds sometimes, so I try to send reminders. I know it's kind of silly. But what else? Hmm. Okay, now, what was I gonna say? Oh yes. So, ooh, shoot, we might need coolant. Okay, here's how we're gonna do. Okay, so planet creation. This is the Expectus Primus. Now, once per month. Now, I think we're going to do a fundraiser game in June. I'm going to try to organize one. So, that's probably not going to happen with this. But, if, um, uh, yeah, if anyone wants to do that. Oh, right. So, every month, I try to do every month, but it ends up being like 8 to 10 times a year. We have a Rogue Trader game on the channel. It's very exciting. You can catch the backups on YouTube. We have a whole like playlist of them. I'm gonna put the link for that. um, and the playlist of Bop. Yeesh. Yes. So is that the right one? Yes, it is. So I have the channel intro. You can see what I look like with a mustache because my mustache, I had to shave it. I didn't have to shave it. My mother thinks it's ugly, and so I did recently shave it. But Uh, what was I going to do? Oh, yes. So, my plan, such as it is to come here. So, for those of you who don't know, we might do for the words, but do planet. Okay, so, see all these planets? These are, various planets. I have more notes on Meriteth and Vellum in another notebook, and I used to do it manually where I'd be on stream and I'd be writing in a notebook and then I'd type them up on various other streams. Then I realized, hey, I can just type during the stream and then you can see what I'm working on and it's cooler. So as I've been going through, and we used to do Warhammer 40k. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tag that if you will indulge me for a minute. Um, boop. Yes. Okay. So, um, what was I going to do? Um, planet creation. So, planet creation. We did some of that, and uh, okay. Computer is fairly tends to overheat a lot. It runs hot, and I don't think that's good for it necessarily. I don't know for sure. So what I've been doing is I came up with a cooling setup that helps, but that requires fussing with it, and I haven't done that yet. So what we're gonna do, and I'm at least get into one of these. So Oh yes. Fun stuff. So Imperial Guard troops. I could go into For the Words and then write on For the Words and then probably paste it into here. I could do that. Um, For the Words is a writing game. Gothraxis. So yeah. Immense. Immense amounts of ocean. So Gothraxis, for example, Imperial World. Yes, I just hit. No, it is spelled right. Okay. Imperial World is near Eldar space. It's a civilized world. Planet contains immense amounts of ocean with a number of archipelagos. Heavy focus on kelp. So there's a heavy focus on kelp and algae farming. I spell algae farming. But salt and fish are main exports. So kelp and algae are more domestic imports for food stuffs for them. Local level manufacturing. Each island elects its own representative who sits on the council, advising the planetary governor, yes, who is whoever is in the high command of Imperial Guard in charge of the local base. So, Imperial Guard, they have an Imperial Guard base with a high command assigning an officer, probably local troops, I would imagine. I might have to specify that, but anyway. So I'm just using Gothraxis as an example. We're gonna invent more for Gothraxis, I've decided, completely randomly. So this is how you do world building: is you pick one of the worlds and you just kind of add details. So we're gonna add some details to Gothraxis. What kind of details? I don't know. We'll see what's here first. I've just been going ham on some of these worlds and adding details and all sorts of fun stuff. And then occasionally I have the player characters show up to them. I have right. So if you go to the YouTube channel and check on the what was I going to say? Yes, if you go to the YouTube channel and go to playlists, there is a Rogue Trader live stream, and you click on the Rogue Trader live stream, and it will show you 22 videos. There's a 23rd that happened that I lost the video for. Some of them are a little janky, have problems with audio, as I've learned. Streaming the hard way. Oh shoot, hang on. Yes, okay. I just realized that I didn't check my microphone, and sometimes it doesn't work, and that kind of sucks. So, my point being, Rogue Trader live streams me and a bunch of other cool people playing Rogue Trader and creating this shared world. And I build the planets, and occasionally the players go to them or are from there. And sometimes the players don't go there, like Volthea. They could have gone to Volthea. There was a hostage that they could have rescued that one of the players' characters, Johan, tried to convince Adet, who's an NPC, that they should get an inquisitor to go and torture the information of where this prisoner was held out of one of their guys. They had one of the other NPCs do it instead. The main player character who would usually have done that, a psyker on the ship, was laid up with a bolter round, bolt shell to the stomach, from bolt pistol. Nothing like space. They weren't fighting space marines. They were fighting um, one of the guys they were fighting had bolt pistol. So yeah, that's fun. Um, this is exciting stuff. So my point is, they tortured us out of it, and then the players like, you're really railroading us. There's no you're just like, well, yeah, I was giving you plot hooks, but what else is there? I'm like, well, there's other stuff going on. Like, yeah, okay. So I came up with, oh well, there's a Placia, I guess you heard about that. And they all went to Placia and then stopped on the way to get armor, and now it's been months, and they didn't go rescue the hostage. She's not a princess. She's the daughter of captain who was secretly had worked for Rogue Trader, who had also secretly been um, blackmailed. I guess blackmailed. You will kill your daughter if you don't do what we say. I don't know if that counts as blackmail. Um, but to take this to help them test their bioweapon and that the player characters built a vaccine for. I cheesed it a little bit, but they did manage. Their ship's doctor managed to come up with the vaccine, um, mostly by stealing research notes from the uh, bioterrorists themselves who had in fact been vaccinated. So they had this intensive outbreak on one of the islands on. It wasn't. I don't think it was Gothraxis that they were. It might have been Gothraxis they were on actually. I don't remember. Let's see. Was it Gothraxis? Uh, no. I will figure out which one it was, but I don't think it was because they. New Saturn, yes. Thea, no, they were on. Uh, yes, that was. Oh, there's some interesting stuff with Guthabaxis. I'm gonna figure out what planet they were on, and then we'll go back to Guthabaxis. I promise. Part of the reason there's city-state of Heliopool. Oh, Undercliff. Yes, there's some Kofoth, Magnetic. Oh, that's where Kurosawa family. One of the player characters, whose player kind of um, had to take a step back from being on stream all the time, and so is now just canonically on the ship all the time and not with the party. That's what happens is because I knew we were gonna have a rotating cast of whoever could show up for that month. Um, they the characters, player characters are often just off on the ship, or they're on the ship doing random other stuff, and not with the party. They're around, and then if the players can come back, the players can come off the ship and join up with the party again. So there's a lot of swapping around of characters and NPCs due to availability of players, as it were. Um, so there's that. Oh yes. So the point being, they didn't go rescue the captain's daughter of Volthea, and yeah, because they didn't go rescue the captain's daughter, she's still in Volthea, and they never went to Volthea. Um, presumably she's still in Volthea. I don't. I'll have to figure out if they ever decide to follow up. I'll have to figure out what happened to her. Uh, Acrod family, yes, which is we talked about this one. Um, Celibate. Yes, they have. Oh, oh, right. We were going through Kolnoman. Yeah, I was doing work on Kolnoman. Last time Grelth. That was the planet that our party started on. They started on Grelth, and then we're. Oh yeah, Zakreron. That was me and Jeff, who plays Johan. Um, had Zakreron, Serpop, um, because and then there was the technicality of that. Dumpter. Drafted. Yes, that was. Beezus, Bernadette, Balboa. That's the planet Johansson the 45th is from. Era here. Fair enough. Oh yes, that was one of their navigator, Rao. Oh yes, Rao is where the oh yes, desalination is powered by solar power. Um, from orbit. Yes, sufficient. Yes, so they have an orbital ring. I think we came up with this on stream with a friend in chat who no longer comes to the streams as much, which is a shame. But abhumans. Um, yeah, so the soldiers on the planet had been fighting the orcs, but also protecting this one city that had some administrative value, and they assumed they were supposed to evacuate civilians, which were the abhumans. It was an abhuman planet, and they assumed they were supposed to evacuate the civilians, and no one told them they weren't, and so they did. And then the Innistrad was like, "Well, we weren't actually expecting evacuees," and they're like, "Well, we have refugees. What are you going to do? Just murder them?" I said, "No, we'll figure something out," and they did. But that was a fun little side. You see, we have so much cool stuff that we create. Fun little side note. Yes, yes. Um, oh yeah, the guardsmen recently from civilized world, and they were fully invested in humanity, the people they were protecting in a way that more jaded soldiers didn't tend to be. Yeah, because they were newbie trips, and they actually cared about human lives because they hadn't seen the horrors of war as much. Yes, yeah, the Imperial Navy guy felt like responsible for them because they destroyed the planet. Um, yeah, abhuman refugees, not easy. Um, yes. Oh yeah, humidity. It was the high humidity. Um, yeah. Migos biologists had just discovered the orbital platforms. uh, who had just discovered. Oh yeah, the orbital platforms were from before. They were yeah, they were from the Dark Age of technology and had been left there and forgotten about. And um um right, the Magus biologist owed the Inquisitor a favor. Um yeah, right. She had smoothed over issues with the research festival in time. I had forgotten about this. Um yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, dormant for 10,000 years for these orbital habitats from Dark Age of technology. Um, um, oh yeah, the fungus destroys telepathic, astropathic communications. Um, um, yes, oh yeah, because it's water desalination and supply for Imperial ships. Yes. Um, oh yeah, smuggling efforts. They have smugglers too. They ban box communications, but they go in bandwidths no one's checking. And yes, right. The Throne's Pride. Yeah. So Rao. Right. So industry not controlled by the Ministratum. The way water is harvesting. Yes. Yeah. Bioengineered during Dark Age technology. Calorie dense. Yeah, it's calorie dense, but tends to have when it grows, it has the effects of being around an untouchable, which makes everyone a little grumpy and uncomfortable. And then if it's psychers, it makes them miserable and unable to do psyker stuff, which sucks. But there's none on the surface. Right. Yes, 17 algae farms. Terra. Okay, yes, and the ones that have astropaths are. Yes, the Neptune sends an expectus purpose. Anyway, we went on a side tangent, so I could show off this silly little story I came up with. But that's kind of what we do on the stream. But I can do more. This is what we do. All right. So plan is, I know it's okay. So we're gonna do Morgothraxis. That's what we're gonna do. Balboa. There were some fun ones. It has feral giraffes. Balboa. Or invasive giraffes. I think more invasive because feral is they were domesticated and then they just got loose and just do stuff. Parrots, horses, dingoes are feral. Then you've got wild, which are just creatures that exist. The difference between feral and wild. Fun fact of the day is that feral creatures came from domesticated creatures that were just let loose and still survive in the wild. Um, Domesticated means having years of selective breeding to make them adaptable to life with humans or um, have particular traits that are useful, and then they're kept as companions or food livestock or companions or guard creatures like working dogs, um, stuff like that. They are or horses, stuff like that. That have been selectively bred for various traits and are usually a little chiller around humans because they've generations of being chill around humans, which is why feral creatures are more likely than actual wild creatures to work. Tame just means it's a creature from a species that is wild that has an individual who has been taught through what various means or has been induced to be nice around humans because they live in close proximity. Like raccoons in urban areas are pretty tame because they live near humans all the time. It doesn't make sense for them to freak out because humans in urban areas usually just kind of let them do their thing, as opposed to rural areas where people hunt them occasionally. Uh, so yeah, raccoons and it's actually sort of there's some interesting things happening with um, raccoons in urban areas. But and the difference between them and rural population, the population in more rural areas and populations in wild areas that have very little human habitation at all and just do their own thing. But yeah, but Anyway, we're getting way off topic. My point is, that's so wild, then there's feral, and then you have invasive, which are creatures that lived in one area and then were brought over to another area by humans, either accidentally or on purpose for whatever means, and then just went and lived there now, but caused a lot of problems with the ecosystem because they didn't have the same ecological niche, and therefore caused a lot of issues, like rabbits in Australia, among other things. Domestic creatures. Yes, domestic creatures. That's invasive. So Balboa has giraffes. They were, and they weren't native to the planet. They were brought. So I would say they were feral giraffes, as opposed to no, they're invasive giraffes rather than feral. I think, unless they domesticated them at some point during the 10,000 years dark age of technology and then brought them there. But I don't know for sure. So I guess it depends on whether humans domesticated giraffes. That is that is a long-winded and interesting conversation, and I'm sorry we got so off topic. This is why I need chat to like rein me in. Um, but we don't have anyone in chat right now. But if you're watching this later, hi. You should come and watch live so you can yell at me in chat to actually do stuff. But you know, it's exciting. Okay, we're gonna actually do things. Where is Aquarion Goth? Growth. Growth is actually a fun one. It's an Ogren planet. Um, um, we actually did these are all from a roll table I have that we did that. Kafaz is this Stonefall That's the one that I was talking about that has, like, um, um, right. Yes. Um, 84 kingdoms and 97 breeds of domestic goose. 3/4 of them are carnivorous. Um, yeah. Um, 1700%. Yeah, they have. Uh, let's see. Okay, let's go focus on Gothraxis because we have arbitrarily decided we're going to do more Gothraxis. We're going to build something on this planet. So, Gothraxis is an imperial world, civilized specifically, near Eldar space. Immense amount of ocean, number of archipelagos, heavy focus on kelp and algae farming, salt and fish, and main exports. Local level manufacturing. Each island elects its own representative, who sits on the council, advising the planetary governor, who is whoever the High Command of Imperial Guard is in charge of the local base. Right, so the planetary governor is a military officer. That means that I'm guessing that means they're a tithe of that would suggest that there is a tithe of soldiers but off-world officers. But capital city is New Terra. Sometimes Greater New Terra. Well, the city is New Terra. Okay, so 1500 years ago, the great grandfather of the current Imperial commander conquered it from the Eldar, who were trying to establish a maiden world. Conquered. There's still Eldar ruins. There are estimated to be 7,000 or so islands. 6,984 of which are officially recognized. The second largest is New Terra. The largest is New Jupiter. The bridge between the two islands is the largest man-made structure on the planet. Fun fact. Fun facts about Gothraxis. Okay. Okay, pre-roll is on. It's 2:20. Yes, so let's finish reading this, and then we will... I'm going to take another stretch. I know I take a lot of breaks, but honestly, it helps me think. And, let's see. Between the islands is the largest man-made structure on the planet. The entirety of New Terra, which is not city proper, is given over to barracks, training grounds, and supply depots. Its central harbor is some of the best on the planet, which is part of the reasoning it was built as the capital, and the other being that it was the site of many of the biggest battles in the War of Eldar Extermination. It also has the largest statue of the Emperor on the planet, which is made of solid gold and 85 meters tall. Yeah. Freaking, that's the Imperium for you. The largest city on New Jupiter is called New Europa, and the city center is about 50 kilometers from where the bridge to New Terra connects. The area just past the connection is called New Bridge Landing, which actually is a stop on NJ Transit. Fun fact. New Bridge Landing. That's why I named it. Mostly train depots. The bridge has 3 train tracks laid across it. On it that runs trains in either direction, a third that switches depending on need. There are no passings built on the bridge itself. The bridge was one structure that encompassed both the train tracks and the road meant for vehicles, with a narrow span in between is often used for foot traffic. New Europa has a population that's much larger than the city of New Terra, depending on how you count urban sprawl, which occasionally counted as going all the way to Newbridge Landing. Yes, how do you count urban sprawl? Outside of Europa, a large swath of New Jupiter is farmland. And it's considered breadbasket of the planet, growing mainly oats, which constitutes 70% of the grain grown on the planet, and probably the diets of a large swath of the planet. The planet has noticeable axial tilts, much less than Earth, but still noticeable. They have seasons. They're relatively mild, so it does have mild seasons. The northern coast of New Jupiter is about a quarter of the way south of the equator, and the island New Terra is to the west mostly, slightly to the south. Far enough south that the winters were below freezing, but not so far south that it is too much of a problem. Okay, so it's cold enough, so like mid Delaware, Pennsylvania kind of, yeah, like, yeah, mid Delaware kind of, Delaware, New England, temperate. North of the equator, close enough that it's actually in the tropics, is New Saturn. Yes, there's New Jupiter, then there's New Saturn, which is an island of, let's see, lots of square kilometers, which is one of only two other islands with significant non-kelp or algae agriculture. The last one is New Neptune, which is northeast and is known for growing potatoes. Okay, so New Saturn mostly produces sugarcane. So you got two New Saturn, New Jupiter, which is training, right? Okay, so wait. Terra New Terra, which is Supply Depot. So you got New Terra, which is New Jupiter is oats. Then you got New Europa. Yes, you got outside New Europa and Newbridge Landing, the big cities on New Jupiter, and then you got the rest is oats and such. Then you got the passing two other, okay, Newbridge Landing. Do they have any seabirds? They've domesticated seagulls. Fuck it, they domesticated seagulls. I'm just gonna say that they domesticated seagulls. We're making that canon, because that makes sense, right? They, or some kind of gull, like coastal bird that they domesticated, right? Because they have to have. I don't know if they need domesticated creatures, but it helps to having domesticated creatures, and chickens are a huge part of, are a huge boon. So they would have domesticated birds are a huge thing, on Earth. And I imagine gulls are in flocks. Flocks are short enough lifespan. They are in flocks that would be prime for target for domestication. I mean, there's got to be one that has the right temperament for domestication. University called New Holy Terran Academy. Okay, so New Saturn produces mostly sugarcane. Stereotype is being dumb and reckless and take. Maintenance. Okay, so you have maintenance. Peninsula. Okay, so New Saturn produces sugarcane. There's citrus fruits. With rice making up most of the rest. The only real city is New Ray, which is the only port out of the peninsula southwest, which is port for ocean shipping produced New Terra and New Jupiter mostly. The land along the peninsula is mostly made up of rail lines that ship produce down, and the Earth goes alongside it, along with maintenance infrastructure for both. Those who live on the peninsula are mostly involved with said maintenance in their families, and are stereotyped as being dumb and reckless and lacking social graces. They have that kind of reputation. Okay. There's one university called the Holy Terran Academy, which is on the island of New Prometheus, and it's generally considered to be the best school on the planet, and one of the best ones in the sector. It consists of lower school, which is primary and secondary school, and upper school, which is university part. New Prometheus, in island about 310 square kilometers, is south of New Terra, slightly to the east, much closer to New Terra in longitude than New Jupiter. Longitude is north-south, so yeah, so it's no longitude. Yeah, so longitudinally is no longitude is east and west, but the lines go vertically, so it's closer to it's just off the coast of New Terra, but south. Oh no, it's or it might even be barely even and just under down to the southern coast maybe because it's close to the equator. No, northern coast because yeah, it's south of the equator and it's Is New Prometheus on the equator? Um, oh no, it is South New Terra, and it's slightly east, so it is not on the equator. Um, 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 I mean, I could, um, actually, we didn't talk about manufacturing. There's got to be some that are big on manufacturing. Um, uh, that are engaged in kelp or algae is lowercase. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. I need a bio break and a stretch break. I'm gonna run an ad so you guys get a couple of pennies for the channel. I'm gonna stretch, and you should stretch too, and get some hydration in, and all that jazz. And then after that, we're gonna keep going on this, I guess. We're gonna figure out the agriculture with the seabirds and the domestic birds. We'll name a couple more islands. That'll be fun. Uh, boom. Yes. Better. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Welcome. Okay, so I came up with a great idea. Okay, so um 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 Also a practice of shoot. Me, not so bad. Um, of raising um domesticated birds. The birds descended from um descended from of coastal gulls. Coastal crossbred and recrossbred. Yeah, this is the breeding of gulls. Um, uh, okay. Um, Crossbred constantly. Um, Planetary. Um, Gothrax. That's right, Gothraxian. Gothraxian, not just planetary. No, the Gothraxian. Gothraxian planetary. Um, uh, Avian domestication. GPADS. Domestication Society. So, yes, GPADS. I had to give it a good um, GPADS. Um, yes. 36 stable crosses. Okay. Um, yeah, I gotta do something about cooling. I did not think of that. I was just up too. I could have grabbed it then. Okay, give me 30 seconds to grab the coolant for the beautiful machine. Okay. I'm not even gonna run that. We're just gonna do it. Alright, I'm back. Oh, well, that. So this is a bowl of ice. It had salt originally, now it's got all sorts of other funky stuff that just got stuck in there. That has the benefit of giving it a lower melting temperature than regular old water ice. And a computer I'm streaming on is a laptop, probably my first mistake, that is propped up onto here. These guys. My camera is mounted separately behind um, that. It's a Logitech. So the laptop is mounted on two of those, one at the corner, creating a little base underneath where I can slip the bowl of extra slow melting ice. So when it does that, basically there's a spot underneath that gets really hot. So I put the ice right there, and then it's immediately cooled, and that helps keep the machine cooler. Hopefully, it's my janky cooling system, but it does help a little. Yeah. So back to Gothraxis and the birds and the G pads. We just invented this, and then New Mars, and um yes, um and to the east of New Jupiter. Right. Okay. So hang on. New Prometheus. Um. Largest secondary island. Yeah, because we're not going to name all 609,084 of these islands, but I mean, come on, we can name some of them, right? So, let's see. Just want to check something. New Jupiter is called Nebra. Um, Northeastern coast, quarter way south of the equator, and the island Terra is to the west, mostly slightly to the south. Okay, so New Jupiter is east of New Terra, and then north and east of that is New Mars. Yes, so there's the um, 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 is, um, exclusively geographic. Yeah. Um, okay, yes. Interesting. Let's say northeast. New Jupiter is um 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 sorry. Back is sore. Right. Mars. Uh, see, wish we had someone on the stream who could do that. Let me also add um, all right. Um, yes. All right. Good. Yes, this one. Okay, so back. Trying to convince people to come to the stream and hang out with me, but it's probably should go into other Discord servers and do that. But like, yeah. Which serves as the main manufacturing base. Um, yes. Boom. What was I gonna say? Sorry. Um, um, manufacturing for the entire planet. Um, yes. Main manufacturing hub base. For the planet. For the entire planet. Um, um, a cluster of islands. So, okay, how big is New Mars? So usually what I do when I say how big an island is give it a like think of an island on Earth, right? Then figure okay, it's about or an island and or a state or something on Earth. It's like okay, that's about the right size. Then go look up the um uh actually, you know what's a really handy feature of Firefox is you can just go straight to searching Wikipedia when you just um then that's what you want. Yeah, I think that's about the right size. So Pennsylvania, the American state, which I know Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. Okay. Um, General Assembly. Okay, so they got some area. Total land is 44,000. So I'm gonna say that New Mars is roughly so it's 46,000 square miles, which is 119 square kilometers. I've been doing okay. I've been measuring in square kilometers or square miles. I've been doing square kilometers. Yes. Haven't I? Okay, now I have to look up this. 2 million, yeah, 2 million square kilometers. So Pennsylvania is, by contrast, 100,000 square kilometers. 120,000 square kilometers. So I'm gonna bump it up to New Mars, about 130,000 square kilometers ish, give or take a bit. Yeah, 130,000 square kilometers. 100, no, 124. Yeah, 125. Just under 125,000 square kilometers is that big. Okay, so kilometers. kilometers squared. Okay. Kilometers squared. Okay. Kilometers squared. Um, um, of a cluster of islands. Um, Infrastructure. All of the equipment used by the Imperial Guard. Yes, I think that makes sense, right? I'm just gonna double check something. It's Jupiter with your couple streambacks vehicles. Right, so it's got this one big city, and then yeah, 7 million square kilometers. Okay, New Terra, right? New Terra. Extermination. Can you actually say how big any of the other islands are? New Saturn, yes, 2 million square kilometers. Well, is New Prometheus didn't specify. New Mars, okay, that's the only one we did. Okay, so I am gonna put New Mars as, yeah, it's a little bigger. I'm making New Mars a little bigger, not too much bigger. It's still under 200,000 kilometers, but um, good chunk of change. Um, let's see, Imperial Guard. Put pre-roll ads on again. Okay. Oh, that's alright. Fortunate, but is what it is. That's the thing about, I was gonna say, trying to negotiate how to run ad breaks is um, getting enough. So to get them, it used to be longer ads with slightly more frequency to keep the pre-rolls off altogether. Now we're running shorter ads at longer frequency, but that eventually you'll hit more pre-roll unless you run an ad manually. If you run enough ad direct ad for everyone, pre-roll for new people joining the stream goes away. This is, I'm learning about monetized Twitch channels. So I like having pre-roll go away is a good thing, because then people can just jump into the stream, right? So what we tend to do is go uh um um is I have the shorter ads, but we can't do short ads more frequently automatically. So I tend to do that manually, and then the automatic time between ads goes down if I run them manually, which is fine, because then I can pick when we do stretch breaks and stuff, which is nice. And then I can do them more frequently, which allows for me to keep pre-roll almost exclusively off. Um, okay. Um, okay, so Barsoom, yes. Okay, so yes. Um, uh, yes. Uh, the main, um, the second largest of the let's see. So let's see. Do they use las guns? Um, the backup. No, they have las guns, standard issue, and the bullets for the backup guns. So basically, the soldiers are las guns, and then they have backup um, projectile weapons that are semi-automatics. You can fire a burst. It's called a Barsoomian Blitz. Barsoomian Blitz. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make this a thing. That's the military tactic. I don't know why. It just um, is for closer quarters. Yeah, they have the pistols. They have backup pistols. So they have las guns and then backup pistols that have, yes, the second largest of the. Um, square kilometers. No, this is gonna bug me if I don't. I'm gonna go back and put all the square kilometers into square, because I think that's a better way to do it. Square kilometers. Me, the only real city is okay. Yes. Um, square. Oh no. Oh, okay, that's fair. Um, 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 las guns. Actually, no. Or they make power packs. Do they make the power packs? Or they make bullets? Both las packs and ooh, they make it all there actually. Um, okay, yes. Both las packs NCOs. Um, uh, um, solid projectile. But not. Yeah, solid projectile as backup. Ugh, sorry, I'm just tired. Bleh. Mm. Um, Im- Imperial Guard troops. Concentrated fire. Okay. Yes. Yes, we're doing rich text. Doing so. Yeah, that's the thing about LibreOffice is that it wants to save everything in its own file type, which is fine. And then if you try to save stuff in another type, it's like, oh wait, but there's stuff that won't save properly, so you have to save it in ours, and then you save it in the other file type, and it's literally fine. 9 times out of 10. And if there ever actually was a problem, no one would have been able to see it coming because everyone would always be like, oh well, you know, um, because it always says that 9 times out of 10 there's no problem. So it's basically crying wolf all the time. And if there actually is a problem, yeah. I think I've only had that happen like 3 times, and it wasn't anything major. But yeah, um, that's our. I think we did well, and I am. Blech. I need a little bit of a nap. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna end the stream here for today. We got very distracted, doing a lot of things, but we actually did come up with some new lore um, for Gothraxis, which is fun. And if the players ever go there, they'll probably end up with domesticated gulls or something. Could be fun. Okay. So, I am going to nap, maybe, and I will see all of you in the next stream. Hi! Wait, is it not working? That's the one. That's the one you're looking for. Hello. You're late. We're just ending the stream now. I appreciate you popping by, though. We did lore for, um, Dothrexis, which is a planet, um, on, in the Warhammer 40k universe that I invented. And I wanted to do more lore for it. So that's, I used to do so much of these streams where we're doing planet, creation. And I haven't done one in a while, so I was like, yeah, let's do more planet creation. So, lots of planet creation. If you have any fun planet names, I could add them to the list of planets we're using. I only have, how many do we have left? I think we use planet Sarapata. Um, Elkantar, hi, welcome. I'm guessing you are going to stream in like half an hour, right? Because you have been doing that. And this time I will be, so I can come on and at least lurk. Um, um, I'll actually put where Kobuk is. Oh, right, Kobuk, because that's where Dr. Keynes is from. If any of you, alright. Yeah, nap is good. Basically, Koblik was interesting because Dr. Keynes was from there. I don't know if you know, but I have been running a Rogue Trader campaign. That's been the Warhammer 40k TTRPG game that we've been running, using the Fantasy Flight game system. It's been very exciting, and we have all sorts of fun people who get into all sorts of nonsense. And actually, I might be able to poke you into coming as a guest on the stream if you want. Um, we have all of the things going, and it's all exciting stuff. Um, probably next one's gonna be in July because honestly, June is crazy. I'm gonna try and get a Pride fundraiser game going. I'll have to plan it, and it'll be tricky. But what else? That will happen later. Meantime, yes. Meantime, yes, that will happen. And but yeah, if we do Warhammer 40k, the game, I have these are the planets I send my party to occasionally. Sometimes some of them are from there, and then sometimes some of them are they don't go. Like I told them to go rescue the captain's daughter because she had gotten kidnapped by a bunch of bioterrorists who were manipulating him to get him to take them to this planet so they could do testing. Um, and um, uh, um, anyway, they didn't go to Volthea to rescue her, so they never went to Volthea and found out about the 97 different types of domesticated geese, large numbers of which are carnivorous and exported for basically staged fights on hive worlds on other planets, or other hives on other worlds. And it's sort of like illegal goose fighting. It's intense, but yeah, they never went to Althea. So, yeah, no, it's there if they ever want to go. I don't know what's happened to her. We'll have to figure it out when they get there. But you know, they've been doing stuff. But yeah, shenanigans. I put all of them up on YouTube though. Okay. I am crashing, but yes. Uh, take care. And when you come on stream, I will. This time, remember to at the very least lurk for a little bit. So I can support your streaming because you have fun streams, and then you're probably doing like a fighting game, I would imagine. But we'll see. Okay. Now, we're going to raid. Since you're not up yet, we'll have to raid someone else. Who are we raiding? You might ask. Well, who's on? Sable should be on. Not yet. Um, Rush for. Um, let's do. Commissioning art. Do, yeah. Art channel. Let's go. No, we haven't raided Ramus for a while. Let's go raid art painting channel, I think. And then go raid Ramus, doing pride painting, fun stuff. Let's go. Alright. Everyone come along, and I will come, we'll go to, stuff shortly. Yee. Oh, and take care of yourselves, by the way. That's important.